Hey everyone, so this is something that might be a saving grace for some of you. It is a question generator. So basically what this does for us is it will generate different questions. The free version is just multiple choice questions, but you can easily kind of manipulate and add, more difficult levels if you'd like on top of the generated questions. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to sign in with Google. I already have created and signed in with my Google account, and it's going to sign me right in. So the first time you sign in, this is what the beginning screen looks like. All you're going to do is you're going to kind of type in just exactly as the prompts say. So I am going to go Math 7. I'm going to go vocabulary for rational numbers. So this is going to be like an introduction, vocab. It could be a practice quiz, a real quiz, whatever you want. And then down here, we can put some more information as to different sources. So for me, for math, I'm going to just kind of stick in a whole bunch of vocabulary in here. And then on top of that, and again, so if you were ELA or science, you can put vocabulary, sure. You can even put tidbits from a reading or a text that you're actually reading or utilizing within the classroom in there as well. Then down here, you can type in some learning outcomes. So I'm just going to type in a couple of them for this particular unit on rational numbers, and I'm going to see what happens. So down here, the free version only allows multiple choice, like I said, but if we eventually did upgrade, you would have the option of doing more open-ended and all that jazz. So let's see what this looks like. Down at the bottom, you do generate set, and that's going to take a hot second, so I'm going to pause for it to generate. All right, that took only about 30 seconds. So you can see here on the right are all my questions. So it's asking about what's the decimal version of a number, it's asking what's the fraction version of a number. And these are, I don't know, pretty good intro practice or review questions, in my opinion, for this particular topic that I'm looking at. Now, if I didn't like these, you can always go back right here to the little text, and it'll take you back into that same screen we were on before, and you can add more information. What's nice here is now it generated all these essential questions. I did not remember put all those in there. And then down a little bit further, the 3 learning outcomes I put in here, you can see how many of each type of question. So the other thing that I kind of find nice, especially for you ELA teachers or people who use a lot of writing, you can check a quick Google search, and you can see where they can find the answer and see how Googleable it is. And sometimes it's okay for it to be that easy, especially when you're talking about vocab and things like that. Now, where would you use this? After you've decided yay or nay on these questions, I'm just going to select all of them. I can certainly unselect them. I can even go in each individual multiple choice question and I can undo any of the correct or incorrect answers and kind of tweak as needed before I import it into all these options. We know that we have Kahoot account, Canvas, Gimkit, Quizlet, I know a lot of people use. You can even put it into Google Slides. There's lots of different options to be able to do this in our atmosphere. So I'm going to show you what it looks like if you wanted to kind of stick it into Canvas, but it's going to be sort of the same process, probably a little bit quicker as far as putting it into Kahoot or Gimkit or something like that. So in Canvas, I'm going to download the QTI file. It's going to take a hot second here. Now those generated questions I made are just questions. It's not a quiz. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings in the bottom left here of my course navigation. And over here, we're going to go to import course content. In import course content, I'm going to select just that type of file that it was, a QTI file. And I'm going to go choose file, which is going to take me right into my downloads right here, Math 7 vocabulary for rational numbers. And I'm going to open. Now, when you're putting questions, it's just like you're creating a question bank, I would select where you want it to go. So I already have a question bank right here that says 7th grade math integers. I'm going to select that already created question bank. You can right now do a fresh question bank. That's totally up to you. but I'm going to stick that guy right in there. Now I'm just going to import it in as a regular old classic quiz, but you do have the option of doing a new quiz. I would not touch this guy, the overwrite. Now I'm going to import. So it's going to import, it's going to be in the queue here, and then once it's completed, I'll show you what it looks like putting into an assignment. All right, my download is complete. So now I'm going to put it into my vocab quiz for integers. So you can see here, I haven't actually done anything as far as put any of the nitty gritty into the top part here. We can do that later, but I'm going to go to questions. We have new question, we have new question group, or we can, ding, 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 right here, find questions. So remember, I did 7th grade math integers. So this is my question bank right here. Sorry, it's actually down a little bit for me. So this one up here was an old bank that I had. This is the one that I want. Now you can select all the questions that you want. I'm going to select all of them. And then you can do a group. I'm not going to do that at this time. As far as like organizing, this is the organized version that I have. And then I'm going to add questions. You add questions and shebang, it goes right in here. And what's nice is it already has the correct answer marked and everything, just like we saw back in QuestionWell. So right here, you still have the option of editing as needed if you'd like. Then it's ready to post and have students create. So the time of me actually creating this is literally like 5 minutes, no joke. So like obviously the nitty gritty of what you're creating in Canvas does matter. And you don't have that already created or what have you. Now I want to show you one other thing I thought was pretty cool. So obviously I'm a math teacher, but I did want to show you an example that I kind of stuck in here with ELA. So ELA, I just put a couple of learning outcomes. No, lies. I actually, here, let's go back here to the little book here. This is our editing. I only put in this right here, a couple of standards, and then I actually copy and pasted a tidbit of information about a particular book, a middle school level book. And that's all I kind of put in there. And I generated that quiz that we just saw on the previous. Then down here, it created all the learning outcomes, which is kind of nice. I know we are kind of in the midst of creating that and doing that, but it's kind of nice to have it right there. And then when I generated it, it actually has questions that relate to the text. So again, you can see the essential questions specifically pertaining to the textbook and also those standards that I had pasted in there. And we can go in here and see if it's a Googleable question, and maybe it is. But again, maybe this time you want to do kind of a quick check-in, an informal check-in live in virtual lesson in a Kahoot. So let's see what that looks like. So I did download utilize this in a Kahoot, and you can see that this prompt does pop up. So obviously there's that last checkpoint that you need to make sure that you're plugging in or kind of reading through the questions to make sure they're accurate. All right, so for Kahoot, it actually bops it over to an Excel sheet. So again, it has the question, it has answer 1, 2, 3, 4. It gives the suggested time limit, and then it tells you the correct answer. So it is kind of still a copy and paste situation, but not really a big deal as far as you didn't have to create the question. So, and it's pertaining to your specific book that you're looking at. So that's just a quick rundown as far as what it looks like as far as an ELA example, and then how to use it in maybe in a more informal situation. So hopefully you find this easy to kind of navigate through, and it is super quick and easy just to kind of create those questions that maybe you just don't have the time to do sometimes.